Now let's talk about the wiring of the breadboard. Now the breadboard, this thing here I'm putting out now, is used for prototyping your design. So once you have your prototype working correctly, then you actually rewire everything with permanent wires, and you have a permanent container to put all your components in. So this is only for testing, okay? It's not the final project. So in this particular exercise, I have my positive terminal. In terms of conventional current, the current's going this way, okay, from here going to the end of the jumper lead here, and as you can see, we got all these rows here, okay, 1 to 30, okay. So the electricity is flowing from that point there in row 3 to that point there at the bottom of the LED in row 3 still, because at the bottom of each of these holes going in that direction, the horizontal direction, that row there, it's all electrically connecting, it's conducting, okay, it's a continuous circuit. So if I pull my lead out and put it somewhere else, say in number 2, it won't work, or number whatever, it won't work. So I have to put it back into row 3 where the LED is. So and I can put it anywhere. I can put it here, I could put it here, I could put it there, okay. Let's just put it here to give it some space. Alright, so the electricity is flowing from there, going to the bottom of the LED, up through here, powering the LED, then going down, and the same thing goes on the other side there. All those holes there in row 3 are connected, and in the center here there's no connection. It's deliberate, so that way the power has to go through the component here, and then from the bottom of the resistor it goes up through the resistor. In this case it's a 100 ohm resistor, and then goes back down, and as you can see, I've got my end of my resistor in this column of sockets, okay. So that means that every one of those holes along that exterior column of sockets is electrically connected. So imagine a wire going from the bottom there to this one here, so that's all connected, and then of course it goes up there. So if I move this somewhere else, like put it over here, it won't work. If I put this one here, it's going to work, and so on. Here it's going to work, here it's going to work, right, and so on. So I can there. So anywhere along that column is going to work. All right. So you got to understand how the breadboard's wired up. In order to wire things correctly, okay. So you have to understand how the wiring beneath the exterior is wired in order to use the breadboard correctly. So rows here are linked, but the columns here are not linked to the rows. The column here is not linked to the rows, but in this direction here the holes are connected, and the same thing on the other side too. Alright. Another thing I need to explain is the direction of insertion of the resistor and LED light. Let me pull out the LED light. Okay, so that's how it was placed inside. As you can see, after straightening the LED light, one end is longer than the other end. So that longer end is the positive end. The shorter end is the negative end. So if I put this in the wrong way, I'll turn it around now. Okay, let me put it back in there. So I've got the long end on the right hand side now. and the short end in the other way, alright, nothing works. Alright, so keep that in mind. You got to get the direction of the LED correct. Positive towards positive, negative towards negative. So let me get that correct now. So there, the long end on the left, on the positive end, and the shorter end on the right towards the negative end. Alright, and so it works again. What about the resistor? Well, the resistor is non-directional, so it does not matter. Now, to prove that to you, let me pull this out. Okay, I'll turn it around, put it back in. Okay, so after swapping the direction of the resistor, I'm going to put it back in. Okay, making sure it's on the same row as the LED negative side. Now, and put it in there. So, and just remember, it doesn't really matter where along that column I insert the negative end of the resistor. Oops, it will work. Alright, now if I put that resistor into the other column, in this case the positive one, the one with the positive sign, it won't work. So let me put it in there. So it won't work. As you can see, I've got the resistor in the column marked positive. I got the negative jumper lead in the column marked negative, and it doesn't work. So they have to be in the same column. Either I move the jumper lead left or move the resistor pin right. Either way, that should work. Let's do that now. And there it is, working again. Or now these labels, positive and negative, are just that. They're labels, so I can change my mind and use this column instead, and it will still work. Okay, so it doesn't matter really, as long as you know how the breadboard is laid out. It doesn't matter where you put those pins. Then from the bottom of this jumper lead, the electricity continues its flow back to the negative terminal, which is ground again. Any ground will do.